about it, it's going to be very, very long. But this was standardized during the British time. In 1853, the 52 letters were formed and standardized because at that time, undivided India, everybody was talking in Sindhi and writing and reading in Sindhi script, but it was not formalized. So they decided to combine certain words, certain letters, I mean, from Farsi as well as from Urdu, and then it was made as 52 letters. Now, the thing is that we are now trying to tell our people that if our whole literature is in that Sindhi script, and if you don't teach this Sindhi script to your children, they are giving them such a great treasure, but you're not giving them the key. How will they learn? And this is our major issue. That is why we are very happy to know that new government policy is saying that you should learn Sindhi right from the beginning in the schools. We hope so, that it will be taught right from standard one and it will be taught in Sindhi script and not in Devanagari script. Obviously, when a child doesn't know Hindi, how can he write Devanagari script? And when a child is only 5 years old, he is writing or learning Hindi at that time, it's going to be impossible for him to pick up both Devanagari as well as Hindi. He is going to ruin both, and both the languages he will not be able to master. We are sure about it. But then here there are certain organizations like Bharatiya Sindhu Sabha. They feel very strongly that this is a Muslim's language, so we should not adopt. We should discontinue. And this will have a very negative force impression on the new education policy if they are not stopped, or if they are not told that, look here, when the literature is all in Sindhi script, you should continue to learn Sindhi Arabic script right from standard one. So there will be no problem later on. This is what is our major and very important aspect of our language. Now here, of course, the question of doing all those things what you are talking about, important of course enough for those who have their own state, and we don't have state. We don't have our own place. Sindhi, Urdu, and Sanskrit, these are the three landless, stateless languages. And Sindhi, for that we are trying to fight with government of India that you should give us at least one 24-hour Sindhi channel. Language can be learned only when it is heard. By listening to the language, you can learn the language. Otherwise, you can't learn it. And Dada Ram Jethmalani, who was our patron, our organization is NGO and it's known as Sindhi Sangat. We have been working for last 21 years for the promotion of Sindhi language through media and through internet. And as I said that my mother was a great writer, we have also created one website of hers, sundariuttam.com, and we have kept a lot of literature. All the books, as well as some books in audio format also. In audio format also, we have kept some books, stories, which those who can't read can at least hear. They can listen, and if they like it, they get into a mode of learning at least. We have, as an NGO, produced Learn Sindhi mobile app, which is available for Android as well as iPhone, iOS. We are coming out in 1 month's time, one more app through which you can learn to speak Sindhi. Now, speaking Sindhi is very important, not only for small children, but for elders also. We have also suggested to our Sindhi managed colleges, those who are giving admission to under minority quota to students, and we have asked them that you please make it compulsory for the children who come for the admission. When they are seeking admission on 11th standard, you should ask parents as well as the children to appear for an oral interview with the authorities. This way, what will happen, those 15, 16 years old teenagers will start learning to speak Sindhi. And these kind of our activities, I'm sure, will uh, may make our parents force them, or children also will get interested in learning Sindhi language. These are our efforts. But where are we? Without a state, really, what can we do? Only we can do one thing, that is to continue to fight and continue till we achieve our these goals at least, and keep our language alive. And with language is our identity, which will will be alive throughout. Of course, in Pakistan, Sindh, there are about 3 crores of Sindhis who speak Sindhi. But what about India? With these religion attitudes and impressions and ideas, I don't know how things can really continue as a on language basis and on the script basis and the literature and etc. I will only say that through you, if we can reach out to the government, that look here, at least new educational policy should be made compulsory, whether it's a private school or public school, or even ICIC school, or any other type of CBSE schools. They all should compulsory teach Sindhi right from standard one. We are ready to provide teachers, we are ready to provide the software, we are ready to provide the books also. But I don't know how do we go about that. I would love to have some help and guidance from you people. And of course, I appreciate the effort what you are making and doing is really remarkable. And thanks a lot for giving me an opportunity to talk to you. And I'm sure many of you must not be knowing about this problem what Sindhi language is facing today. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Just to add to that,
Yes.
there are
Thank you very much, madam, for all your inputs, and we are completely with you. We can certainly we are completely with you in your asks, whatever the legitimate things that what we are demanding. And I am very happy to inform that we have one of the oldest Sindhi schools in Bangalore. It is quite opposite to the place that where we are conducting this meeting. That is one of the very oldest, schools in Bangalore. Bangalore.
Mhm. Good. Mhm. And what is the name of that school? So, whom should I correspond about all these our problems and activities?
Once again. Is it okay there? Yes. Sir, ready.
Yeah.
ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ
First,
ಕೇಳಿ.
I will show my gratitude to all the leaders of KDA, our chairman Nagaparna sir and Professor Niranjan Aradhya and Vijayagara for organizing this event and the support of the background support of the Anand, the Yoga Singh and other members of here and the participants of this event. Everything made this event a truly historic. I must say it is truly historic because as a civil society representative, here has conducted so many meetings. For the first time in the independent India in 2017, we brought representatives of not less than 40 languages in Delhi. Before that, in 2015, our organization starts in Chennai. We have representatives mostly from Karnataka. But this is historic because now it is organized by a statutory body, a body which has the constitutional rights and responsibilities to promote not just Kannada, all Indian languages. That's the beauty of this thing. I must congratulate and thank each one of you and the special importance given by Mr. Nagavarna and Niranjan is really very interesting thing about this whole event. So when Anand spoke in the morning, he was talking about having two hats. Now I have three hats. I have to speak on behalf of Tamil Nadu. Then I need to say something from the clear point of view. And also, I'm the vice president of an organization called SITLAB, which is Confederation of Language Companies in India, which includes a lot of translation companies, language technology companies, and any company which is working with the language. I'm the VP of that organization, so I would like to share my views based on these three things. Normally, whenever people think about Tamil Nadu's involvement in the language movement, it's natural that we think about the 1965 anti-Hindi education. And there is a very general perception across India that Tamils are vocal in fighting for the language rights, they respect the languages, and there are so many such perceptions available, and they are true. But what is not actually discussed in the entire narrative of Tamil Nadu fight for language rights, I would like to emphasize that point now. Since 1960, when we adopted the Constitution of India, Tamil Nadu voiced not just for Tamil, it voiced for all languages. The 1965 agitation is not against you. It is not about the heroic struggle against the imposition. It is equally a movement which demands constitutional rights to Tamil and all languages. In 1963, when our great leader C.N. Annadurai took in the body, he demanded official languages status to be given to all the languages listed in the Schedule 8 at that time, something like. In 1965, there was a huge movement in Tamil Nadu, also in Bangalore, West Bengal, Punjab, and other places as well. So the language movement of Tamil Nadu is not only a story of Tamil fighting against the imposition of one language, it is also a story of Tamils are joining hands with other linguistic communities in India to fight together to get the rights collectively. Because it is not possible to get the rights alone. The system that we have in India, all the linguistic states, historically nationalities are there, Indian subcontinent, needs to come together and fight for the language rights. That was because the language rights movement in India, and we are representing the various aspects of it. So from Tamil Nadu, I can only convey the message that from 1937 onwards, we have this language issue in India. 1937, 10 years before independence of India. For all along, we are fighting for Tamil. Yes. We are also fighting for all languages in India to be given the equal status constitutionally, politically, and practically. And some of our leaders in 60s and 70s spent lots of effort in creating an environment in which communities could thrive. Not only schools, even the colleges. They built lots of institutions to develop Tamil. The language infrastructure initiative taken by our leaders in 60s and 70s are very important. But now, the situation in Tamil Nadu is nowhere different from the situation. We may be considered as foreigner in this movement, but currently we are all. So that was the reason why people in Tamil Nadu today, when they are talking about the language rights or federalism or anything, always wanted to join hands with other people in other states. So when the clear is formed in 2015 in Chennai, which is the 50th anniversary of 1965 movement, we have the representatives from Punjab, Dr. Jofar Singh, then so many representatives from Karnataka, including Donan. Then we have representatives from Odisha, Mr. Saket Sadhu, then from Bengal, Maharashtra, and so many other states. Next year, the 7 representatives from 7 languages in Chennai has become a representative of 40 languages in Delhi with the Balishta. After that, we went to many places together. Most of our program in different parts of India is actually a collective program. So I travel along with other people, Joga Singh, Dr. Deepak Pawar, Mr. Gurva Chatterjee, Sagar Saru, on. We all went together in many cities in Jharkhand, in Punjab. I think we have 3 meetings in Punjab. And in Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, many meetings in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Huh?
Twice in
Yeah, twice in Burger. So in all other places, we used to visit all the states and creating this platform. And today I must thank ADA for accepting our request and also giving us a space to express our views as a common body. And this is a civil society body, you are a government body, a true democratic possibilities of reality only when the civil society bodies and the government bodies coming together. That's the general law. So from the Tamil Nadu point of view, from real point of view, I would like to uh, bring attention to few points which are very important. First of all, the story of languages in India is very complex. Today we heard the story of Kashmiri, Manipuri, Kosli and Odia, then Kannada, Punjabi or Tamil, Sindhi and other languages. You can see every story is unique. The historical background of every linguistic community in India is unique. There are many commonalities. They are always thinking about the united diversity. That's good. But you have to equally give importance to the diversity in India. So these distinct features of every communities in India, whether it's a scheduled languages or not scheduled languages, whether it is spoken by 20 crore people or only 200 people, this complexity has to be taken into account if we really move forward to bring a equal or equality-based language policy. But that complex situation also gives us an idea that it is very big, daunting, long time effort, so there may be some phases. We have to go in some cases, not necessarily dictated by some Western interests, but in the practical purpose. So in this manner, I think funding for the official status for 22 languages included in the Schedule 8 of Indian Constitution could be the very important step forward. The reason is not because these languages are somewhat unique compared with other languages, not like that. We are not talking in the terms of 1984. George Orwell, there some languages are more equal than others. I am not cutting that. But in all practical purposes, because these languages are there, languages, most of them, not all the languages, Hindi is different, Sanskrit is different, even Maithili and Bengali has different situation. So at least we start with these languages for which the demand with the central government is pending for a long time. But this cannot be the complete story, this cannot be the end in itself. One of the core objectives of Chennai Declaration is to set up a language commission in India to discuss all the issues of all the languages from all the dimensions and perspectives to decide a language policy. With the democratic language policy, we can evolve a constitutional record for it. But anyway, this is only on theory, on practical purposes, those who are already working. So we cannot simply say that it is a brilliant exercise of creating a language policy and 500-page volume of language policies and planning with all the great examples from different parts of the world. That cannot be the case. So those who are fighting we get the right first. So in a way, the 22 languages in schedule, their official status in Union Government of India, you need to take it forward. So in that particular point, I think is great in moving forward. If we are able to make even the constitutional amendment is not so easy. It will take a long time for us to get that, given the present situation in India. But if they are started to create some platform, started to implement some schemes and plans, that is a good thing. For example, Prime Minister is speaking about the critical and scientific colleges in Indian languages. We welcome it. It's a good development. When Finance Minister Bharatha spoke about the National Translation Mission in Indian languages, it's a good development. When the NEP is speaking about using regional languages, or I don't like to use the word regional languages, I like to use the word native languages. Native languages education, that's really a good move. But these are all peaceful efforts. I know that some good-hearted people, politicians, or bureaucrats, or some other professor, or some other popular leader can bring some changes here and there. But what we really need is the constitutional uh, provision, a constitutional status to our language. But still, we need to fight for smaller changes because nothing will happen in a single day. In the last 5 years, when we collectively traveled across India, we clearly understand the language movement or the language issue in India is as complex as India. So we cannot expect a single demand list of the demands or list of the top 10 demands and what we do. So it is a collective effort. We have to go forward. And the first step for the languages in the schedule A, this could be the first step. For the languages which are not in the schedule A, then we are going to be something. So it is their right to develop their own demand and fight for the language state. So in the declaration, which is actually based on the Universal Declaration of Language Rights, 1996, Barcelona Declaration. So this document is also based on that. Here we mention considered to be equal, and each language community has the in all possible ways meets Indian democracy. Every citizen of the Indian Union has a fundamental and inalienable right to use our mother tongue for all transactions with the executive, judiciary, and legislative wings of the government, and the government shall use the mother tongue of its citizens for all transactions and communication with itself. All citizens of Indian Union shall have the right to get all education in their mother tongue. All citizens of the Indian Union shall also have the right to get commercial and public services in the mother tongue. We call for setting up a new language commission to review and amend Part 17 of the Constitution of India and other relevant provisions to create a new language policy based on the recommendations and demands for all language communities in Indian Union. So fundamentally, the issues that we are discussing today in education, in administration, in public sphere, in commercial and business spheres, everything should be handled in a single manner. That is, it should be based on the equal. It should be based on the practicality. So clear perception about this language issues in India is defined as such. So from the perspective of industry person, I would like to say the words now. I am in the business of translation and language services for close to 20 years now. Globally, the language industry has economy. The language industry is very vibrant in Europe and Southeast Asia after America. India is the second most populous country in the world and it has huge diversity of languages. But if you go and check in the language industry, India still few years ago is not even present. So whenever we are talking about the industry, language industry, we speak about German, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, even Indonesian, Polish, Slovakian, Ukrainian, but I never hear the word like Hindi, Kannada, and in that industry. The languages are not even considered as a language of the market. Intelligence of Indian languages in the international language. What was the reason? Promote the divinity the local languages? No. The people of India who speak different languages, or they prove that they want the information and communication to be in their language by using mobile phones and internet. So in social media, in all other avenues of communication and information, the people in Tamil Nadu use Tamil, the people in Karnataka use Kannada, the people in Bengal use Bengali, and that's why certainly there is a sort of activities from the language community. It's not the government driven, it's not the administrative driven. The people wanted to use their mother tongue in all the social media and the technology spheres. Suddenly, all the companies are going to go. These languages are used in India. So it is not the case of just Chinese and Arabic in Asia. We have to think about Hindi, Bengali, Punjabi, Tamil, Kannada, Marathi, and all these languages and the market is. So the message of this industry story is that people need a person. Whatever be the investment by the government, whatever be the technology developments in the universities, in IITs, in other places, people need, they wanted to be communicated. So if market is a cue or a clue, they have to understand that Indian languages are trying. Today, what is happening? Almost all big companies, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, you name it, Facebook, you name it, all big companies are spending millions of dollars to develop technologies for you. I am part of it. I brought most of my examples only from the language industry perspective. What I am saying here, whatever the skewed language policies in India, people has proved that they need the services in there. Now the government has to follow choose from the market, they have to develop. The machine translation technology is going to actually destroy the wall of what do you call languages. If you see from another perspective, very soon we are going to communicate with others without knowing the language of others. Even today, just as I read in Tamil, and whenever I write in Tamil, you read Punjabi. Our company is working on machine translation technology for Indian languages in the last few years. We are sure in another few years across the world, every website can be read in your language. Every film will be watched in your language. Every audio will be shared in your language. Without the need of a professional translator, and I will go out of the technology will replace everybody for 95% plus. I think the technology is already ready to change it. And English is going to be the last language of the world. That's the last language. And there is no big languages anymore. No Chinese, no German, no Spanish, no French. It's a simply a language. Let them write in, let them speak in any language, why we here or in my language. It doesn't matter whether it is written in a particular language. When the Yoga Singh is writing in Hindi or Punjabi or English, it doesn't matter. I don't even worry about the source language. I just read it in my language. So in this different technological situation, talking endlessly about the possibilities and the impossibilities of implementing a clear and equal language policies is really absurd. What nonsense? When a pan-Indian political party can communicate with the people in 20-25 languages, why the government led by the same party is not doing communication in other languages? What is the second objective? So politically, technologically, economically, the languages are not right. It is our duty, the duty of the government, to get the ideas from the people. The people need everything in their language. It is not a matter of medium of instruction alone. We have to take the language issue in the much bigger and the broader perspective. The moment they will understand everything can be acquired, the knowledge can be acquired in their language, the way they see the medium of instruction issue will be different. Currently, they are seeing English not as a language. They are seeing English as some magical tool from which you can acquire every language. The moment they come to know that they can acquire every piece of language in their language, then the very building that is built on the English empire will come around. So I think we have to see the entire issue from different perspectives, from 21st century perspective, from the democratic and the equality perspective, and we have to develop a language policy based on that. That language policy should be made into the law, to the constitutional process. But the constitutional process or the laws, schemes, and plans are nothing if you do not have the political view. Today, the constitution is not preventing using Tamil in the Bhasha. The constitution is not preventing that. But some people in Delhi, they don't want this to be happen. That's it. The constitution or the Indian law, sometimes even so many schemes are actually progressive because they happen in 60s and 50s when there are some sense of supporting the languages or supporting the diversity of India. So just because somebody needs some policies to be enshrined in the constitution, is an example of the political. The political will of ADS is getting this process. So the political will of all the language departments of all the ministries in the Indian government, including the ministry, can definitely change the shape. The constitutional process, the legal and executive methods, and then the political will can come together and change the situation. And we from here actually want to go beyond the current capacity and like to travel once again across India in what we do. And we want to talk to the government departments similar to KDI in different states. We will try to bring as much support for the KDS initiative. So you February 21 meeting with the Prime Minister's award is going to be happening. That will be a great boost for the language movement in India. So I must thank for all the efforts that you are taking today for that meeting. But even after that, whatever is also, but even after that, let's go together. And I feel the language movement in India is coming to the stage where its efforts will not go. Thank you.
Thank you very much for bringing and also setting the context in a different way. Particularly when we talk about language, there is a larger normative framework which is available. That normative framework is not just what is there in the Indian Constitution, but also the covenants and conventions that what we have agreed and ratified. India has ratified most of the conventions, including the one referred by Mr. Sendil Nathan, that is 1996 Barcelona Declaration, which is a very important document. In fact, if you look at some of these documents at the global level, we have unique documents for each sector. Like a language, women's rights, children rights. We have a UN Convention for Child Rights, which is again a very unique, document. Probably we can't really think just, within, four walls. We have to look at what, these declarations, what kind, because, one common bottom line for all these conventions, UN conventions, whenever you change your domestic legislations or policies, you should be guided by these, declaration. Otherwise, there is no fun in, working with the UN. So therefore, I think that is very important. So I completely endorse Mr. Sendil Nathan viewpoint. Number two, we need certainly a language commission because there are many issues, and see the issues, raised by Chand, like particularly on, Sindhi. We have no state at all. So therefore, I think that is very, very important. And what I have learned from last 4 decades working in law school, people, talk about, legislation is a kind of panacea for everything. I tell you, wrong. It is a myth. In fact, I argued in law school, I argued without a well-defined policy, if you get into a legislation, it is a disaster. No, because see, the well-defined policy will give a framework. After all, what is legislation? Legislation is translating a policy into some kind of a legal framework. So if you do it without a policy, then you are really inviting, so therefore, I think clear defined policy is very, very important. And what they have done now as new education policy is only part of it. Only part of it with, again, buts wherever, however, all these things. But certainly, we need a well-defined policy for languages alone in the nation. I think probably that will give us, to look at this problem in a holistic perspective, not in bits and, pieces, not doing, something here and something there. So therefore, I think this particular perspective is very important. And thank you, sir, for your political will. Sir, probably, please continue your support for next 2 years. Probably we can do really wonders because political will is the ultimate. You have everything, you have policy, you have law, but what is the without political will to implement it? So therefore, I think that is very, very important. So thank you for bringing all these issues. I think this is really very important intervention. So let us work together. Because what we are proposing, schedule 8 is only, kind of a good beginning. So that will give us more ground as well as more strength for us. Once if it is recognized, then probably we can really move forward. So, do you have any online?
I just want to
Okay.
make a quick comment.
Yes, sir.
It's in continuation to what you have said. I was very happy. I actually didn't knew that we have these statutory authorities in states. We don't have a Kashmiri Development Authority, nor does Domi. We don't have any census.
Sir, we need to explain to the government and to their political party, mother tongue based education has a potential of winning one parliamentary election completely. Just declare that all education will be a mother tongue and you will win the parliament.
And there will be celebrations, I tell you.
Celebrations.
I tell you, celebrations across the country.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah,
And it country will move forward.
Yeah,
It will be a
sure.
leap forward for the country.
yeah. So thank you very much, sir, for all this input. Now we will move on to the next speaker, Professor Uma Maheshwar Rao. He is from our neighboring state. He was professor and former head, Center for Applied Linguistics and Translation, Central University of Hyderabad, one of the very oldest university. I have a couple of friends who are working there, including Professor Sudhakar. Yeah. So I request now Professor Uma Maheshwar Rao to give his perspective, particularly with reference to Telugu.
We should congratulate him. First, he is elected Linguistic Society of India president.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good.
So, friends in this hall, wearing one hat, we have one hat, we have to count, like, I think this is really a rich gathering.
With this
And not an exaggeration, but really.
LSI will be very vibrant. We have a passionate mother tongue.
Yes, sir, over to you.
Mike.
Bharatha and our as people attend this one, and before that, some time ago, what happened to
Speak to the mic. Speak to the mic, sir. Go to your.
he still managed publishing his own. What is in the last? It started disappearing. Everywhere English medium. So if you take up the school education system report of the government of India from 91 to 97 and a little later, every year after year, 3 to 5% is in Bharatha education. So these are some of them. And I have made a marking of what state, what is the state between a mother and a slowly, then more and more states are taking English medium part of the children's education. Why is this country? When I was very young, most of the was nothing. Maybe I started only in class. Only English for the last 30, 40 years I've been teaching only English. But today, somebody more, they can't read the book. This is the situation. fluent for doing some actor sounds and the cinema posters and everything. But even cinema posters started writing Telugu names in English, Roman letter. This is the kind of situation and it won't stop. It will go on. Okay? So in this kind of situation, the TV has come. A kind of a short actually. Suddenly, to become a kind of short and then take this one and then probably support and go forward along. So in this situation, I would like to say, taken up this kind of assumption of my office as actually tables the other side, taking all my friends, and then actually bringing back the mother as a dream of education all this. If linguists don't do this kind of thing, I don't think we ever go into this other. Because what kind of evidence should we bring forth? That is a major thing. Not that, oh, there was my mother Kannada is my mother, so we should really and support them. That's not the kind of evidence. Not this kind of thing. Also, because the language is a lot of ancient writers, ancient literature. Probably something like Punjabi is a Guru Granth Sahib. So Punjabi would live forever. Some languages we would live forever. No, absolutely not. None of these things can really ever save the language. We have seen Sanskrit, numerous technical components, lot of technical component in Sanskrit, and a lot of religious component. Not say it is over. Sanskrit time is over. Maybe just read for reference language or something else like that. So today, what do we need in the name of language? What is this language contributing in terms of economy of so this has to be shown to the why we should really use it our languages. Why not change it to English? You could say, So there is nothing which is really we have spent in order to gain knowledge. So there is immediate gain of knowledge through our mother tongue. If it were English, you have to go to the classroom, sit, and then acquire English language knowledge, and actually spending effortful time for 4 to 7 years. Some people have to spend some 15 years, and when they come to the university, they can't write a single sentence. Nowadays, I have seen my own students in MPhil, even after PhD, they can't write a single complex sentence in English. So, why is this kind of English being taught in our school? Why we are forced to learn this kind of English? And because we have never really given any kind of plan how to teach English language for us. As Professor Jogasin has produced that we are not teaching English the way we should be taught to our language. We should have taught our children in English with the kind of difference that should be catered to the needs. For example, my language, other reading language, not an Indo-Aryan language, when it is being taught to the child, we should tell them these are the differences in English which are not found in your language. So concentrate on those things. Rest you don't have to really work. Already that was there as part of your language acquisition, the first language acquisition. Only those things that are not available in the first language, but available only in English, only teaching them. Then put pressure on that. Pay attention to those kind of things. We are not given like that. We just given kind of very routine kind of English way of teaching to the student. That's how we have learned English. But the way we should teach effortlessly, little bit of time, actually not wasting any much time. We should have probably taught our children, they are not even doing that kind of thing. But another thing, in the economic front, we have not really considered a lot of economy that we really show as part of our GDP comes from primary things like agriculture, fisheries, hunting, etc., and logging, all kinds of these things, and of course mining and many other kind of things. These are contribution about 25% of Indian GDP comes purely from Indian languages, right? And besides that one, about general construction, industrial labor, all these things have only in Indian language. Okay? And only when it comes to banking and financial and other administration, policing and defense, there are certain people who there about 50% of them both through English, otherwise in Indian language. And in services, particularly in services, maybe teachers, professors, etc., thousands, lakhs of people are there around. And they do actually a lot of only in Indian languages, a little bit in English. And of course, professional, an engineer who is produced, does he really do in English? Only he is taught to English. He might actually be partially English, but actually his practical work will be in Indian language when he uses. And he asks the assistants or other kind of people how to construct a dam or how to build an industrial thing. He has to actually communicate with his assistants and other people only in Indian language. And that way, you have the total use of English in Indian languages go to 85%. Right? This is the kind of thing. Taking all kinds of this kind of input, we should really go for planning why we should retain Indian languages and how we should really promote Indian language. Not only basically retain and then teach our children in Indian language, but we should promote these languages. And people always think that no, we don't have technical terminologies in Indian languages, or we don't have that kind of literature, we don't have chemistry, or we don't have nuclear physics in Indian language. So what? If you don't have it, your translation has no goals. Translation can be done. It may not be probably point to point, but it can be, paraphrase kind of thing or a different way. And slowly, year after year, they get perfected, right? You don't have to really wait till those things are created and then only I will start. Not like that. You start today. Medicine can be started today and then you can start teaching. And the first generation would learn it and the next generation will be in English available. So we should really see like that, not like saying that no, we don't have anything in our languages, so how can we do this? So our professors are there, professors whose mother tongues are in Indian languages, but they are teaching in English to let them come up with an Indian language teaching. And probably bilingualism can practice for some time, and later on we can go actually to only Indian languages and languages can be produced very soon. And these have to be, such a things must be there. Otherwise, like after he's trained in English and then I go to him and then what should I say? How should I help myself? Telling him, I have this kind of thing, what are these things, etc., etc. I cannot really explain to him, neither he can actually get anything from me. So there is a kind of communication breakdown, but still, anyway, I'm paying him very clearly. What is this? Why should I pay him clearly when I don't get any help? Only he touches me and then looks at me, okay, okay, okay. So he grabs something from me without asking, without communicating. Is it possible in Britain, even if Indian doctors go there, they are asked to ask English to that extent that they can understand a native speaker. But we here don't insist on one Indian doctors to have that kind of communication in Indian language. And these doctors don't care. What is this one? Paying our taxpayers' money to these people. And people say, no, 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 there's no alternate way. They're all trained in English. No, it's not true. They have to work and they have to actually do the service to the nation because they are trained by our taxpayers' money and we never insist on that. We took it as a fashion to study in English and then go with the English language. And most of the time, people say, unless you study in English, you can't get jobs. There is great job potential. So getting educated in English is a kind of passport to foreign countries. These are the kind of almost answers every time people start doing whenever we have kind of altercation with the English pro or Indian language pro fighting against each other. It's not really fighting against each other. You want to understand when some service person comes to us and want to do service and then he demands us to pay. Yes, do service in my language. An engineer should know my language, what I mean, how the road should be built, a doctor, what kind of medicine he should suggest. And I don't really, if I can't communicate, so the communication breaks down, and the doctor actually suggests something, and I can question it and go there. The same thing happens in the classroom also. Since I don't speak, I don't raise my hand. So most of the children forget actually raising their hands when it's necessary, asking teacher, sir, I have a doubt. No, no student ever tries to ask such a question. Then it's an English class. If it is a native language classroom, people immediately ask if they don't have, and they have this kind of fear syndrome will never touch them. So, considering all these things, so we should really see, is it really that English education brings forth a lot of employability? No. Every year, almost India produces 1.8 million engineers. All engineers are trained in English. But according to the Indian Council of Technological Research, they say only 11% of these people are employed. Because not that they don't know English, they don't know English anyway, they can't read English book written by a native English speaker. First of all, the subject they have not grasped. They are poor at the subject, they are poor at the English. So now they are not so. So finally, they end up doing job which is not meant for an engineer. So only 20%, 21% of our engineers are employed today. Each state has lakhs of engineers being produced, particularly in the South Indian state. In Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, every year about 3.75 lakhs of engineers are produced. In Karnataka, roughly 3.5 lakhs. In Tamil Nadu, 3 lakhs. Almost half of the Indian engineers are produced in other states. But the number of engineers that are employed are not even 25%. Only 21% of engineers are produced. And how many graduates we produce? 3.5 lakh graduates. 3.5 crore graduates every year. How many of them are employed? Only 20% of them are employed. There are other graduates who said, what do they do? They don't have anything. They're not, they don't really get any job work their time that they have spent in the classroom. So nobody bothers, no politician bothers about all this. They want votes, and votes can be obtained by actually saying this. No, we are all actually you for English education. You go to America, you go to Britain and London. This is the kind of education we want. How many people can really go to America or Britain? Every year, only about 30,000 jobs are given or sanctioned by America to Indians. Many other countries, European countries, get more jobs from America rather than the Indians. But there are more Indian students go to America. There are almost 100,000 Indian students go to America to get their study degree. All of them listen to India, not finding jobs. Only about 3 to 30 thousands of students will get jobs there. And you know how much the amount they spend? Each student, on average, I would say average, some people may pay more, some people may less. Actually, on average, each student has to pay 1 crore worth of money every year. And now you say 100,000 crores of money we are paying to USA every year. Is that really work when we don't get jobs there? That's why we need it. So, considering all these things, come home, back home, exactly what we are doing. We have thousands of universities or university level education institutions. Like at the universities, but deemed universities or recognized universities, some other kinds of universities, postgraduate centers, etc. Thousands of them. There are thousands of libraries. Go to any library, there will be lots of textbooks. But how many of these textbooks are written by us for the last 70 years of our Indian independence? Not even 5% of them are in Indian languages, or even 5% of them are written by our professors. Those people who have been teaching for the last 70 years, 95% of these texts are written and imported from the US or Britain or Australia or Canada. None of these things are written by us. And now, we import every year lakhs of crores of work textbooks, almost thousands of titles and tens of thousands of copies we import. None of these things actually tell us going to in Indian language. Still, our politicians don't understand. And we are really shelving out all kinds of our things, our resources, only to just build the textbooks and then sending our children to English medium education overseas. And beyond these things, we have other kind of things. Let us imagine this situation continues another 2 decades. As morning somebody was mentioning, if it continues, today 60% of the children are going to Kannada medium. What will happen next year after year after year after year? In 2 decades, it can wipe out medium, Telugu medium, any other kind of medium. No, people don't consider it. It's not that these people are educated and they can go to America or do better. What happens at home is your film industry is the largest industry in the world, which actually employs 2.5 lakhs, 25 lakhs people in here in India. Totally will be replaced by the Hollywood movies. And you don't have to do anything. Hollywood movies are made in Hollywood and then you have to download them and then pay them. A few days they will allow you to see free and then upload they said no, pay. So our society will become simply a downloading society, not a production-oriented society. Everything, books you have to download, films you have to download, music you have to download, novels you have to download, everything you have to download. You can't produce anything. Your English is not accepted there. Even today, lots of books are written in America. When they come here, at least in my field, I can say Chomsky writes books, right? He's a very prolific writer. None of the Chomsky books are read first hand by any English when he becomes a graduate. He has to read it, spend or heard commenting on Chomsky to understand it. Most of the first time written books in English are not really understood by our Indian students because they are written in such a idiom, idiom. You cannot really understand those things. People think that, oh, okay, these are English education. What kind of English education? What will a kind of handful of technical terms will use and then try to import this kind of noun phrase and verb phrase and then construct an English sentence. That's all. And nothing beyond that. No innovative writing. None of the Indian professors have ever written any innovative textbooks unless somebody who is writing, a handful of people writing novels, etc. So this is the kind of situation today in India. People are really read that kind of thing. Doesn't really put off society of writers in each language. So millions of writers and then they publish and then they get back some money. Tomorrow, if the English education actually the wave comes and drowns everything all Indian languages, our production, our textbook production or any publication in Indian language industry in the world is the number one industry. And all that industry will be gone in so nothing will remain. So we have to really seriously take this kind of situation. We cannot really sit anymore waiting no okay, anyway people will do. So we need to build up an education behind it. It's not sufficient just simply taking care of these things, some of these things, okay, government is producing that and producing this, etc. No, recently the central government has produced a directive, actually, a government order. It didn't even say GO, it's a government order. It wanted to produce a central university of Indian languages, and then there they would merge this classical language institute and also the existing central institute of Indian language. I don't know what are the reasons they are producing. Once it becomes a university, university, people come, join, and then take some lectures and then graduate and go ahead. Research only happens if these people are retained for quite some time seriously. And there are research institutes, Central Institute of Indian Language is a kind of research institute, something like Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, that kind of thing. So Central Institute of Indian Languages must really stand as a research institute on the lines of Indian Language Institute, Indian Institute of Science. Instead, people say, no, that's not functioning very well. You just remove that one and then put it to match it into Indian language. Central University of Indian Language. This is the kind of thing that we don't want. Who is the person who is deciding all these things? It is the linguists of the language experts who should decide these things. What should be there and what should not be there. They are going to decide on behalf of us. Have you ever seen actually any authority sitting in the government asking people who are experts in things, please give us a planning or kind of yojana for a language? They never ask us. What is this? They are taking for granted. You can do whatever you like. So all these things should come to a standstill. So this is the time of linguists and the language experts and other people who really open up their minds should stand and then say, no, these things must be done according to the some sort of study seriously done by people who are actually working in this kind of thing. Tomorrow's thing. Language is a serious matter tomorrow. Maybe today we are not taking it seriously. Today we are in a knowledge society. Knowledge society really relies only on language. Language is the embodiment of knowledge today. And tomorrow, if you want to control the world, only knowledge comes to the language comes to your as a kind of power. And why English today? And everybody is actually watching for English. It will become a kind of upper in the if you create every knowledge is only in English. Now that means English people, English native speakers, and the countries which are really first-hand speakers of English have a lot of power. It's like an atom bomb in their hand, and we are probably up there everywhere. So this must come to this kind of. We should really take care of that kind of thing. And next, finally, as I have said, we are in a knowledge society. This knowledge society is now actually done and created on the basis of the computational tools which are available. Language technology has come a long way today. Tomorrow, at the end of this decade, we will have excellent machine translating systems, speech to speech machine translation systems coming actually and they will be available in real languages. And we don't really have to fight. Only we have to set on these languages survive till that kind of technology is delivered. If you can't really wait for this kind of time, 7 to 10 years, and in between our language demise, if we can see that one these languages still will be active till the end of this decade, then we are successful. Otherwise, the language will die, technology is coming, and we are unable to get in. So tomorrow, we should not really turn our language to the to the end, to the end. We should not really see that one. So we should say technology is almost in the car. We cannot leave that kind of thing. So language technology, knowledge society are actually going together today. And almost today, lots of people have said that. Earlier, two decades ago, when the internet, mostly everywhere, everybody is doing internet in almost 30% of the world is doing internet in English. But today is not the truth. Every new entry into internet is actually in Indian language today. So Indian language have really picked up internet everywhere. All kinds of things, lots of people are writing in Indian language. And these have actually producing more and more employment. Everywhere, Quora, Facebook, and WhatsApp, large number of this internet, computer, these companies, and kind of things are really looking for more Indians to join. And more we produce in these languages, there will be more and more jobs actually looking for us to take up this. So we should really now Indian languages are going to be there, and we have to see that one not just simply sit and then look at them, but actually stand as a way of support to them. Thank you.
Bringing a very different perspective altogether. What I am really convinced is, this analysis from the point of GDP. I think that is really a very interesting, when people say that we are nothing to get from the languages, I think we have to tell them very loud and clear that your GDP is completely based on our Indian languages. How much your English is earning in terms of GDP is the fundamental question that we need to ask. That is really an important.
Just a second. I just want to modify the argument a little to make it more effective. If 85% of,
83.
Consider that one. Large number of people are dependent on this kind of 20% of GDP.
Thank you very much. This is really a different, perspective. And in fact, what you said, including Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, most of the schools, en masse, 4,000 schools have been handed over to Bridge International Academy. Imagine 4,000 schools. And in Karnataka, what Mr. Anand referred in the morning, there are about 14,577 schools where the strength is just 1 to 25. It means 1, 3. So all these schools are potential to closure. They may close in 1 year, 2 years, losing 15,000, Kannada schools is such a kind of.
Punjab has paid 500 crore rupees or as fees for IELTS, test, English test to the British Council. And Punjab students have paid, Punjab has paid 20,000 crore as fees to Canada, US and America in the 1 year. Just imagine, 21,000 crore of rupees are gone out of Punjab in 1 year, just as fees. And imagine, Canada has done research. Yes, Canada has done research. They're producing an individual up to 20 years of age. It involves 5 crore of rupees. Meaning 20-year-old individual is worth 5 crore. So if we send some 1 lakh students to America, we have given them just 30 lakh crore of rupees. Yeah, just
this is really a big, this brain drain is one of the biggest problems that we have been facing. And whatever, after giving so much, in dollars, if we come back without employment, such a great loss.
Part of that money, just half of that money is enough to make Indian education a success. Half we will save up, spend that half on ourselves, not in America and Canada, and we'll have a brilliant education system.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for all this, new perspective. I think this is really a very important thing. Datri, do we have anybody online?
Yeah, there was one person.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Professor B.K. Jha is from Jharkhand, and he is enlightening us on Maithili, the language Maithili. Sir, over to you, sir. Please, yes, sir.
Namaskar and good evening, sir. Sir, could I join after quite some time because I have joined belatedly. So just I want to get myself updated on the issue and the topic which we are discussing right now. So it would be convenient for me to talk after 1 or 2 more speakers, sir.
Yeah. So we are all has to say that. Okay.
Yes, sir. First of all, I
Sir.
thank the chairperson,
Ah.
KDA, and the team of Nath of the program who have given me such opportunity to see all of you in this wonderful program. Dear sir, and my other friends, actually, basically being a part of the CAN, Central Institute of Indian Language, you know all about it, and Professor Maheshwari Rao is also mentioned about the CAN programs. Before my this small observation, I have to qualify. I retired from Guru teachers of Central Solan in 1970, and there was a committee framed by the government of India with the eminent scholar of the institution and the different university of the country. By the committee who work on language policy of India. Okay. And I know that I was also a part of that meeting in 69. where Professor V.O.P., Professor Sudhir Singh, Professor Batra, Professor Mohanty Batra, and others, so many eminent scholars are there, and the work was going on very smoothly. At present, I don't know whether this document has prepared or to the government or not. Somebody told the morning session that the general policy of India document has been prepared and is submitted to the government. Number two thing is, which I have seen, which I have observed, that NTM, National Translation Mission of India, permanent team is also working in Central Institute of Level last 10 years. They have worked very hardly because you know this wonderful institution of the country now carrying with the temporary arrangement from top to bottom. The source person are on daily basis. The officer, when I joined this institution in 1995, there were 180 linguistics scholars, faculty members, 7 principal of the regional language centers throughout the country, with full flag staff and lectures, university and training. It is very painful that people around this have made research scholars and some professionals that are working with me. My guess is because now it is clear that we have it now, particular approach also. Our question is why we should not see that, why we should not observe the program of the NTM, TCA, and support them with the providing of the full facility and providing a full cooperation from the government of India. So that the work which is already done and going on, it must be speed up and it must be done in every state of the Indian language. Secondly, I have a little observation about the second language teaching of the program of the regional language center. Regional language center of the Central Institute of Indian Language are working in different parts of the country. I have headed 3 major centers of the North region, that is Urdu Teachers of Central Zone, Himachal Pradesh, Northern Regional Language Center Punjab, and also Urdu Teachers of Central Lucknow, UP. In second language teaching, I have visited various Northland states and school of the different states. I have seen it was very nicely when I visited Himachal Pradesh to around with my CL officers to evaluate the our trained teacher who are teaching the students of the schools. They were studying Tamil language, Kannada language in Himachal. And Punjabi also there. So, second language teaching is also I think, a best and a very good tool for the development of the Indian language skill. When we are talking about the development of the 8th scheduled language, we have a 22 language in our country, and almost all languages are you can say covering the from our centers, that is the regional level center, that in the different places of part of this country. Now the second language teaching, through the second language teaching, I have seen in Odisha and I have seen in Karnataka also, and Bombay, Goa, Manipur, where the Punjabi teacher, trained teacher of
fifth region were teaching southern, were teaching northern language in southern region and west region and northeast region. So though this regional language center was also training because there is no any permanent principal. UPSC has not, you can say, appointed the principal, legal board of the principal. There are no faculty members. Only daily wages staff are working there, and there are few students and 2,000 teachers. We have trained in all over the country, but now the scheme is cut down, and nobody is taking any, you can interest to cope up with this scheme. My suggestion is that we are, this approach is that we have faced three problems. And I think these three problems faced by every organization and every institution who are working for the language, Indian language in the whole country. That was your lack of staff, lack of funding, and lack of your knowledge. We have a temporary staff. They are not so skilled and they are not so taking so pain because they have only daily wages come and take there. So these three things are becoming in our way. We are here. We are thinking and we are you can say taking pain for the development of the this Indian language and want to a regulation to from here to government of India. It is my request regarding the Urdu state of Himachal Pradesh. I would share that in Himachal Pradesh, the first language is Hindi, supported with the English language, and it is advanced like Punjab. Punjab is the first language Punjabi. Earlier, the Hindi was the first language of Himachal Pradesh. Now, the English also included as the other language in the Hindi. Even you can start this teaching from primary to in English also, English medium also, in government school. I am talking about the government. So, Urdu, Punjabi, Sanskrit, and your Tamil and Kannada. These languages are the second language status in Himachal Pradesh. But now Tamil and Kannada, because of the lack of the staff and faculty, their school, I think that the class is not, the children are interested to learn this language, Tamil language, but earlier staff, earlier faculty retired, and now the other building not take their place, and they are just they are harassing and they are taking another option. So in Himachal Pradesh, there are three organizations working, public organizations working. One is from Central Government of India, that is the Urdu Dictionary Assistant Stolen, and the other is the Academy of HP Academy of Art Cultural Language, Shimla, and also the Department of this language of HP government is also working on this. And some organizations are also working on the government of Indian language. Therefore, I request to the chairperson and the team of the Indian Nazi that a compiled and a good resolution should be prepared here and sent to the government with the and the other major thing is the interest of our higher authority that is sometimes they don't talk about the teaching from other language, Indian language. Now, why you should not talk? This type of thing they have. So the resolution should be gone to the government of India that they must be advised and strongly recommended to the state government. They must be follow the some action regarding the development of the Indian schedule language. Thank you very much.
Speaker on. Mic on.
Thank you very much, sir, for all your inputs, particularly giving some practical suggestions how best we can, use the existing institutions for having spent so much, resources. How do we really use those things, existing institutions to, promote and strengthen Indian languages is a very important, takeaway from your presentation. Now, I request uh, Professor B.K. Jha from Jharkhand. Sir, can we? Yeah. Sir, shall I request you to make your presentation? Oh. So there are a couple of issues I just want to place before the group. There are we thought that all presentations we will just complete today, because tomorrow we have at least adequate time for discussing the draft resolution which we are going to finalize today, so that we will adopt that resolution, and that will be the main important document that all of us carry with us as a part of submitting it on 21st of February as observing International Mother's Tongue Day. So what some friends are telling, since they have some kind of urgent work and all, they may not be able to join today. So particularly three important languages. One is Dogri, then Gujarati and Konkani, and they are requesting whether we can accommodate them on tomorrow morning for 15 minutes, and so that we can listen to them also. I just place it before this August gathering, whatever you suggest, because this is what the proposed program placed before you, and we tried our level best calling them, getting them online and things like that, because some people who are very far, to get them online itself is a very things. But all our friends sitting in the corner, particularly those young girls, are putting so much kind of efforts to get them, but we are unable to kind of reach them. So if it is okay, we can do like that, or we can say that based on whatever input that what we have received, rich input, and also the draft available, based on that we will come up with a draft thing, and we will place it tomorrow for discussion. So I seek permission from this August gathering. To them also. Sir.
Sir, we mostly touches all the avenues and the problems, discuss many aspects. But one practical thing is that teaching in mother language, they face and feel that it's inferiority complex. That we may be inferior if we our children teaches in mother language. So that is the one of the main issues, so that they admit their children in the English medium schools and all. This is also a very big issue, sir. That this complex is a psychological problem, but this complex leads to these habits.
Sir, this is not a psychological problem. Psychological problem is built the base. The reason is the dominance of other languages.
and the conspiracy of this particular orchestrated campaign, I say, is the result. So therefore, what we need, that is the reason I just mentioned in the morning also, we as, kind of both academicians as activists must go to the people and tell them that, this is the truth. And tell me, sir, at least one research in the world which says that you can acquire second language without having competency in the first language. You have a single research in the world.
I said it is not psychological, but what
It's
that's
becoming a scientific.
it makes difference. I'll give you one instance. I'll give you one, sorry, it is personal reference. One colleague of mine, lecturer in Delhi University, wanted his child to admit to government school because he had read my book and he had listened to me. But his wife didn't agree. Then he said, okay, kindly read this 20-page document. If you are convinced, we will admit in government school. If you are not convinced, we will send the kid to English. His wife read that booklet of mine and she got that we will admit the kid in the government school in 2.5 years now. They are so happy. He just picks up his bag and go to school very nearby. 50 rupees the monthly fees. And so much money they are saving. We have a good health and our university has a very good sports infrastructure for kids, even as students. So he's developing so well. And now, earlier he said, when somebody from this English medium parents talk to me, they thought I am a backward person. But now they are seeing how my kid is growing. Now they have started looking at me in a very respectful way. And I told you, more than 150,000 students have migrated. Sir, in lighter weeks, generally an argument is given. We were talking about some language with some code. And when I speak, I talk in a very satirical and joking way. Since we have started the formal education throughout the world, say 1,000 years or so, not even a single new word has been produced in any language, including English. All these new words we think are new, they are just built from the old elements called roots, dhatu, or and prasarg, upsarg, and affixes. And all those have been produced by our hunter, say, forefathers, some 20,000, 30,000 years back. I don't see that any root or any affix being produced in the last 1,000 years in any language. Any language in the world. So we think that some language is richer, some. So 1,000 years back, all our language. Punjabi as well, and Odia as well, and Sanskrit, of course. So this is just a kind of creative sort of influence.
No, sir, nobody is there except Asha Chand and Prakash Parab, who has already spoken. Both of them have already spoken. Other than two, nobody is there online. So now the only option is we have to close now at this point, and tomorrow we can provide opportunity for these three speakers. Later on, we can move on to the discussion on resolution. If it is agreeable, I request my chairperson to close the session for today. It's a very enriching discussions. Probably we will call out all these points, basically to bring out some kind of a resolution that can be placed tomorrow in a very simple way. So thank you, sir. Now over to you. We are calling them. So tonight we will just call them and confirm. So overall available on
sometimes the brilliant point
so that we can give them 10 to 15 minutes like what. Yes, sir. Sir, can you come now, sir? Bikeja, sir, can you hear me, sir? Nanda. Sir, Ratri, can you call Professor Jha? Bikeja.
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
He has to unmute himself. There is ಹೌದಾ? That is Divya. Yeah. Sir, can you make a presentation, sir? Unmute yourself. Please admit him. Yes, sir. Over to you. Yeah, unmute Marco. Oh. I think we can do one thing. We can communicate to them tomorrow. If necessary, we can start early because earlier we were planning 10 o'clock. So we can start at 9. Give them, whatever time they require, and we will start. Otherwise, 9:30 is fine. Okay. Okay.
9:30 to 10:15.
Yeah. Madam? Yes, sir.
Some problem with his mic.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Connection is slow. I think
Can you hear me? Hello.
We can hear you, sir. Yes, yes,
Okay,
you
I
are
am
audible.
Nandakumar.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I am Nandakumar.
Nandakumar from
R.
KRL.
Nandakumar.
Welcome, sir.
Kerala. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Sorry, I got this meeting ID and password and I tries to join, and then I contacted Mr. Anand, and then only I could join. That is why it is delayed. My joining has been delayed. Okay. And I couldn't hear what the inaugural session. I couldn't hear or see the inaugural session or something like that. Earlier sessions. Hello.
This is basically to request you to give us a kind of status. What is the status in your state in relation to your own language, Malayalam? Because the purpose of this national meet is to empower all Indian languages, and particularly to propose an amendment to the constitution for Article 343, so that all 22 languages in the schedule will be given same status and same kind of due place. So this is the whole idea, and this is the theme of this 2 days meet. In this connection, we request you to enlighten us about what really the status, what is happening in your own state, and how Malayalam is really is used in different particularly in different aspects like administration, judiciary, consumer services, and all other national entrance examinations. So this is the theme and objective of this national meet, sir.
Okay, I can brief it, no problem, because we have been fighting for the dissemination and development of mother tongue since. Hello? Are you hearing me? Hello? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Okay,
you are
we have
audible,
been,
sir.
for the last 30 years, small organizations have been fighting for the development and dissemination of mother tongue in Kerala. But it didn't reach any shore. And in the year 2010, we formed a united forum of all mother tongue organizations which have been prevailing in all over Kerala, namely Malayala Samiti from Trivandrum and Malayala Aikyavedi at Kozhikode, which has started at Kozhikode, Calicut, and then one another organization, Bhasha Samrakshan Samiti from Ernakulam. So all these three organizations joined together to form a united organization in the name Aikya Malayala Prasthanam. Since 2010, we have been fighting for that. Our first aim was to make our language, make Malayalam the first language of the state. That is the first language. We could make it as an order from the government in the year 2011. But in the education field, because even in SSLC book, that those who pass the 10th standard, that is SSLC exam, secondary school leaving certificate they are giving, in that also, that first language has been mentioned as English, not Malayalam. But an order has come up. But the education department of Kerala was reluctant to implement that, even though an order at the time that ministry has changed. Every 5 years, this left democratic front and then united democratic front. Likewise, it goes on in Kerala. And in 2011, after making that order, that UDF government came into power and they freezed the order. And we have conducted a struggle that is a fast a struggle that is a fast strike in the year 2013, and in that we have put forward a suggestion, a proposal that a Samagra Malayala Act, that means a complete Malayalam Act, should be formulated and it should be passed by the Legislative Assembly and that should be implemented likewise. But somehow it got successful, and Kerala Legislative Assembly in the year 2015, December 17th, on December 17, 2015, Kerala Legislative Assembly unanimously has passed a complete Malayalam Language Act, that is Samagra Malayala Niyamam, for the development and dissemination of mother tongue Malayalam in the state of Kerala. But that has been those who have framed the this law, this act, this bill, those who have framed the bill, that legal department itself has done a nasty thing, that it has been sent to the president for his approval for the assent of the president of the nation. Whenever an act or bill passed by the state legislative assembly, if it goes to this president's approval, that means that will never come back. It is like a Bermuda Triangle for aeroplanes. That is our experience. That thing happened to this bill also. It has not come. It has not returned. It has not come back from the president's office, and we have contacted president's office during the reign of Pranab Kumar Mukherjee. At the time, Venu Rajamani was the press relation officer to the president, and we went there and inquired about that. Then they told that the president's office is just like a post office, because if and this official language and mother tongue dissemination, etc., etc., are the duties and responsibilities, and that is to be implemented solely by the state. Why they are sending all those things for president's approval? If we get those bills for approval, what we will do, that we will send to the central government, and central government has a department of official language under the Ministry of Home Ministry, and they will only do the things, and after getting approval or after getting favorable reply from the Home Department, that is official language department, then only president will act on it. So far, that's for 6 years have passed by, and so far nothing has evolved at Delhi. That is the condition of that bill. Again, we have been fighting, and next in the year 2016, Left Democratic Front has come into the power, and we could do one thing. Meanwhile, during the selection period, we have approached all these parties and we have pressurized them, and aftermath of that pressure, LDF, Left Democratic Front, has included the subject, that mother tongue aspect in their that is what we call Prakadan Patrika. That is their what they are going to do, and all in that Prakadan Patrika they have included, and that has got a result. In the year 2017, unanimously, 2017 was the year of the 60th year of Kerala Legislative Assembly, and it has unanimously passed a bill called Malayala Patana Niyamam. That means the Malayalam for teaching, Malayalam Shikshan Niyamam, that is for teaching up to, it is a compulsory subject for all schools in Kerala, irrespective of the curriculum they are following, irrespective of the that is whether it is state schools or central schools or any other private unaided schools, etc., etc., whether they belong to any medium, English medium or Kannada medium or Tamil medium, that doesn't bother. But they have to do one thing, that they have to teach Malayalam up to 10th standard. That was a great achievement. And even then, it took one more year to frame the rules and regulations for that act. And however, that has come up in the year 2018, particularly in this June 2018, and it is going smoothly, and that is getting implemented. And that our experience is that without getting an order or making it a rule, making it a law, that will not be implemented. But because people, and particularly the officers and government servants, government in secretary, government officers in secretariat are reluctant, and they are against, they are anti-Malayalams, they are anti-mother tongue persons. That is what is happening in Kerala, and now that act is being implemented, that rules that is also very good, because we only have intervened and we only have framed the rules and regulations for the act, and that is very beautifully implemented, that is being beautifully implemented, that portion, okay. But uh, in the in the year 2017, that is in May 2017, a historical proclamation, that is an order, has come up from this government, state government, that Madhur Bhasha, Parana Bhasha, language, that is how they have declared, and it is being implemented all over in almost all departments. All departments it has come up, but this I earlier said that these government officers, particularly secretariat officers, are reluctant to implement, and they are anti-Malayalam, they are anti-mother tongue. That is the problem we are facing here, because they will find out any loopholes for kicking off mother tongue from the official stratum, and they will go on with English and all these things. And further, they have got immense pressure, and they have got immense backing from the private and aided schools who promote only Malayalam, and they are because before 2017, before this, that the law of Patanayama has implemented, before that some stray incidents, because some 10 or 15 incidents have come up in different schools all over Kerala, that whenever a child, a student speaks Malayalam, speaks mother tongue in the school, he was punished. He was punished with fines, and he was severely punished, and giving impositions. Likewise, it has been news have come up, and we strongly have taken up all those things. And now our problem is that is Public Service Commission is there. Public Service Commission does not give questions on mother tongue. Up to 10th level examinations they are giving in mother tongue, definitely, okay, because we have Kannada and Tamil as this Nunapaksha languages, that is minority languages in our state, and we demanded that in Malayalam as well as in language minority areas, that should be given in the language minority languages also. That was our demand, and up to 10th level examinations it was implemented. But after that, because nowadays all examinations, even clerical examinations for various departments in the state government, and also for secretariat examinations and all other examinations, they need at least +2 level and graduate level examinations. All are graduate level examinations. But we have been given, and now that is last year, not last year, during 2019, this government has come up with an examination, Kerala Administrative Service Examination, through Public Service Commission. And Kerala Administrative Service is a prestigious post, very somewhat dreamy post to all just below the service collectors, that is secretaries and all IAS persons. So all are hankering after those examinations, and they have declared even their syllabus that will be that KS examination will be conducted only in English. They will not give questions in Malayalam. that they have declared. Then we have conducted a historic strike. That is, we have conducted a indefinite fast strike from 2019 August 29th to September 16th. It incessantly we have conducted, and almost all literates, all this cultural leaders, this literary persons, all over from all over Kerala, irrespective of political parties, irrespective of religious fractions, they have joined us, and they have supported us. Immense support has come up all over Kerala, and government has was forced to declare that and instruct PSC that it should be considered, and because they can instruct PSC only, they can't order PSC that examination should be like that. That is because this PSC Public Service Commission is a constitutional body, so they can instruct. They have government has strongly instructed Public Service Commission to consider giving questions in mother tongue also, Malayalam also. Then it has also agreed, but PSC has raised a lame excuse that there are no sufficient words in science in science category, technical category, etc., etc. So how can we conduct examination? For that, even lexicons are not there. Lexicons do not include these words, scientific words, technological words, etc. So another lexicon should be made up of. Already there is lexicon. Bhasha institutes, language institute is there. Language institute has published some 3 or 4 lexicons on that, and we have pointed out that. And however, that is after some 1 year and for 14 months, PSC has declared that all examinations up to graduation level will be conducted in Malayalam. Then another problem has occurred, and that PSC has declared examinations in 2 levels. Now, there was a single examination, and now it will be conducted in 2 levels. That is, a primary level examination is there, and then final examination will also be there. Then, in that syllabus has been published for almost all examinations, 10th level, 12th level, graduate level examinations, syllabus have been published. Then for the preliminary examinations, there was now questions from Malayalam language and literature and culture. Then we have objected. We have declared a strike, and we have conducted dharnas, processions, etc. And that is under consideration by the government. And we have submitted a mass petition from online petition. That is 35,217 people have signed. All literal leaders, all cultural leaders, almost all free thinkers from different political parties joined that, signed on that, and we have submitted that plea to the government, and it is being considered by the government. I hope that before the declaration of, because next in the month of in the end of February or at the beginning of in the beginning of March, there will be declaration of next elections. Assembly elections will be there. Before that, orders should come up, and government is trying to declare that before this 3rd week of February, so that before the declaration of elections, that order will also come up anyway. That is what our we and our Aikyamala Prasthanam, with that indefinite fast strike, it has spread its roots in almost all taluks of Kerala. In all districts, there we have district committees. In now we have in all taluks we have taluk committees, and also Grama Panchayat elections also. A lot of our comrades and our friends have won the elections, and they are in the ruling front of Grama Panchayat, that is this local body organizations, local body governance organizations, etc. And that resurrection and rejuvenation of Malayalam will be there, and they cannot nowadays that surface of Malayalam, because the people what this is a societal blind belief that learning through English only will do good thing for children. That there was a blind belief, and that is why people turned their faces away from this public instruction also. Public instruction schools, governmental schools, they have avoided governmental schools. Even auto rickshaw laborer or any other laborer, they are fighting hard for hard for their lives, but they will somehow manage to send their children to unaided private unaided schools, paying a very high fees to them. And that was the custom. That was the habit of almost all Keralites in Kerala. Now that is changed, and people are asking even to us that whether any that is in central schools, CBSE syllabus, ICSE syllabus, all private unaided schools are teaching Malayalam. They have included Malayalam in their curriculum as per the present act and regulation and its regulations. But this central schools, a lot of central schools are there in each major town of Kerala. Central schools are not teaching Malayalam in their schools, and people demanding to us, you please intervene so that Malayalam is being taught in central schools. Also, we are trying, and they're as not included in the curriculum, but some central schools, almost in Trivandrum also, some 4 or 5 schools are teaching children during the intervals and after the school time. That is how it is going on. Anyway, we will come to that also. The main, the other, the last one that we didn't achieve anything good is this Malayalam has not been made the court language in Kerala. That is, we have demanded we have that is their this arguments and their cross examinations and the judgments should be in Malayalam. That was our demand, and that is being considered by the government, and lot of procedural delays are there. High Court should apply. High Court registrar should take a decision on that. Then there are some 3-4 committees have been formed by the state government itself, and registrar is an ex officio member, High Court registrar. But High Court authorities and even advocates are somewhat reluctant to implement that. That is what is going on here. But anyway, we hope that after this elections, when next government comes in, definitely that can also be fruitful. This is a brief scenario of what we have achieved and what we could achieve, and what is going on in the field of mother tongue in Kerala.
Is really very, kind of not really very brief, but it is very, detailed, kind of a presentation, and a lot of things to learn from Kerala, the kind of struggle and, the kind of achievements that you have made. I think there is a lot of similarities between what we have done in 2015, the Kannada Language Learning Act, which is compulsory, has to be taught in all schools, irrespective whether it is affiliated to the ICSE, CBSE, and all. I think probably lot we have to learn from Kerala's struggle. And one strong message one strong message is that unless we go to people taking the issue, it may not be, possible for us to get really a great, victory. With this, thank you very much, sir, for making time, and with your busy schedule, you have joined, and I thank you on behalf of our Canada Development Authority and CLEAR. So thank you very much, sir. So, now this is time to close, because we have really, very, very enriching discussion since morning. I think probably it gives, a kind of idea that what is really happening to even 22 scheduled languages. Forget about all other, in the sense, of course, that is our long fight. We have to take it forward. But what is happening to the languages that is there in the schedule, which is part of the constitution, and in a way, it's a constitutional mandate. So therefore, I think probably what we are, proposing is really an important step. Probably, I think we will move forward. So with this note, let us meet tomorrow morning at 9:30. And we will listen to the remaining speakers online, and then we will move on to the resolution, and we will have discussion around that. So thank you very much for your active participation, and also we have tested your patience many times, and sorry for that. But it's a very enriching discussions. I think I personally learned a lot through these discussions, and the various different perspectives is really very enriching for us to take it forward, and also to argue very strongly why all Indian languages need to be empowered. So thank you very much. With this note, let us conclude, and let us meet tomorrow morning, sir.
Okay, thank you.